Hello everyone, and welcome to your UK weather update. As we gather here today, the air is filled with that unmistakable late autumn feeling, a blend of crispness and anticipation. Across the country, the landscape is shifting, and the atmosphere is alive with change. Today is November 23rd, 2025, and we're at the turning point between autumn and winter. It's that unique time of year when the last golden leaves cling to the trees, but most have already carpeted the ground, creating a patchwork of color underfoot. The leaves are mostly down, days are short, and there's a chill in the air, especially in the mornings and evenings. You might notice the sun rising later and setting earlier, casting long shadows and painting the sky with soft, muted tones. The air feels fresher, and the scent of damp earth and fallen leaves is everywhere. People are pulling out warmer coats and starting to think about Christmas. High streets are coming alive with festive lights, and the first Christmas markets are opening their doors. Shoppers bustle about, wrapped in scarves and gloves, searching for gifts and enjoying the seasonal treats that only appear at this time of year. The weather is in transition, and big changes are on the way. Winds are picking up, and you might feel the first hints of winter in the air. Some days bring blustery gusts that send leaves swirling, while others are calm and still, with a quiet that settles over the countryside. Late November and early December in the UK are famously unpredictable. One week can be frosty and bright, the next mild and wet. You might wake up to a sparkling frost one morning, only to find rain showers and milder temperatures the next. This constant back and forth keeps everyone guessing and makes planning ahead a real challenge. This year is a textbook example, with sharp swings expected as we move into December. Forecasters are watching closely as weather systems shift, bringing the potential for both cold snaps and milder spells. It's a time to keep your umbrella and your winter hat close at hand, as you never quite know what the day will bring. We'll break down what's happening now, what's coming for the end of November, and what to expect as December begins. From the latest temperature trends to the likelihood of frost, rain, or even a touch of early snow, we'll help you prepare for whatever the season has in store. So, whether you're planning a weekend walk, getting ready for holiday shopping, or just curious about what's next, let's dive into the fascinating world of UK weather as we head towards winter. Stay tuned for all the details you need to make the most of this beautiful, ever-changing season. Right now, the UK is experiencing a major weather shift. After a spell of frosty mornings and crisp air, high pressure is giving way to low-pressure systems from the Atlantic. Winds are swinging from the cold north to a milder west-southwesterly direction. This means air crossing the warm Atlantic is bringing milder, wetter conditions. Sharp frosts are fading, and temperatures are climbing. November has been running about 3 degrees Celsius above average, despite recent cold snaps. The cold was just a brief interruption. Milder weather is returning, and looks set to strengthen. The Atlantic is taking charge, ushering in classic unsettled autumn weather. For those who enjoyed the crisp, sunny days, this change may disappoint, but it's typical for late November. This is just the start. Bigger changes are coming as we head into December. The final week of November is shaping up to be a true tale of two halves, with the weather set to deliver a dramatic contrast from start to finish. As we approach the end of the month, the atmosphere seems to be in a state of transition, caught between the lingering chill of late autumn and the first hints of winter's approach. Early in the week, a departing low-pressure system allows a brief return of cooler, northerly winds. These winds sweep down from the north, bringing a crisp edge to the air, and reminding us that winter is just around the corner. Mornings will feel brisk, and you'll likely notice your breath as you step outside. It'll feel chilly, but not as cold as earlier in the month, and many areas will see drier, sunnier spells. The sun will make a welcome appearance, lifting spirits and offering a brief respite from the gloom. Parks and open spaces will be dotted with people making the most of the clear, crisp days, even if they still need to keep their jackets zipped up. This short-lived calm won't last. The atmosphere is merely pausing, gathering energy for what's to come. It's a brief window of tranquility before the next round of unsettled weather arrives. By mid-week, strong southwesterly winds from the Atlantic will sweep in, bringing a surge of mild air. These winds will be noticeably stronger, rattling windows and sending leaves swirling through the streets. The change will be felt not just in the air, but in the energy of the city and countryside alike. Temperatures will rise, especially towards the end of the month. You might even find yourself leaving the house without your thickest coat, as the air turns surprisingly mild for this time of year. It's a reminder that November can still surprise us, even as winter looms. The dry spell will end as rain and wind return, particularly in the west and north. Showers will become more frequent and heavier, soaking the ground and making travel a bit more challenging. Roads will glisten with rainwater, and umbrellas will become a daily necessity once again. The week will finish much milder, wetter, and breezier than it began. The contrast between the calm start and the blustery finish will be striking, as if the weather is reminding us of its power to change in an instant. This pattern leads us straight into meteorological winter on December 1st. The transition is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a real, tangible shift in the air, the light, and the mood of the days. Expect a rapid shift from cool and calm to unsettled and mild. The weather will keep us on our toes, with each day bringing something new. One moment peaceful, the next swept up in wind and rain. The end of November will feel more like autumn than winter. The landscape will be painted in deep golds and browns, leaves clinging to branches as rain patters down, and the air will carry that unmistakable scent of wet earth and fallen leaves. So, as November draws to a close, get ready for a wet and windy transition into December. Whether you're braving the elements or watching from the warmth of indoors, the last days of the month promise to be a memorable mix of autumn's final act and winter's opening scene. As November closes, unsettled, rainy, and windy weather will dominate. The jet stream is steering low-pressure systems straight at the UK, keeping things dynamic. Bands of rain will sweep west to east, with the heaviest rain in Wales, southwest England, and western Scotland. Eastern areas will see less rain but won't escape entirely. Strong southwesterly winds will make it feel even milder, but also less pleasant outdoors. Gales are possible in exposed northwestern areas. The classic UK autumn recipe: mild, wet, and windy. This unsettled pattern will persist into early December. December begins with a surprisingly mild start, more autumn than winter. A dominant southwesterly wind with air traveling from the subtropics will keep temperatures well above average. Daytime highs could reach the low to mid-teens Celsius, especially in the south and east. Nights will be mild, with little risk of frost. The catch: wet and windy weather continues, with low-pressure systems bringing more rain and strong winds. Some areas, especially the north and west, could see winter gales. You may not need your thickest coat, but you'll need a good umbrella. The first week of December will feel more like late autumn than the start of winter. To understand December's mild start, look to the Atlantic. Persistent low pressure to the west and high pressure over Europe create a strong southwesterly flow. This long-fetch wind pulls warm, moist air from the subtropics, sometimes as far as the Azores, straight to the UK. Air traveling over the Atlantic picks up heat and moisture, arriving here loaded with mildness and rain. This setup blocks cold Arctic air from reaching us, locking in the mild, damp pattern. Weather models agree this arrangement will dominate the first week of December. Expect persistent warmth, cloud, and rain. It's a stable pattern that can last for days or even weeks. The UK will be stuck in a flow of mild Atlantic air. Winter's start will feel more like a soggy, extended autumn. Weather models are in strong agreement about the mild, unsettled start to December. The American, European, and Canadian models all show a dominant southwesterly flow, bringing warmth and rain. The European model, known for reliability, predicts temperatures well above average. Ensemble forecasts, dozens of model runs with slight variations, mostly support this mild, wet pattern. A few outliers hint at a possible colder, drier spell later, but these are in the minority. The Canadian model highlights the risk of heavy rain and gales around December 2nd. The main question now is how long this mild spell will last. For now, confidence is high. The first week of December will be dominated by Atlantic air. The details may shift, but the overall theme is clear. The models are united. Expect a warm, unsettled start to winter. After a mild start to December, everyone's wondering, will it last through Christmas? Long-range forecasts are less certain, but suggest the mild wet pattern could persist into mid-December. Some models hint at a possible shift later in the month, with high pressure building near Greenland or Scandinavia. If this northern block develops, it could push cold air from the east or north towards the UK. A dramatic drop in temperatures and even snow is possible, but far from guaranteed. For now, the consensus is that any significant cold is more likely in the second half of December. the Atlantic pattern could reassert itself just as easily. A white Christmas? Still too early to call. Keep an eye on the forecasts as the month progresses. As we look ahead, the UK is transitioning from the cold, frosty mornings that have defined recent weeks. The familiar crunch of ice underfoot and the sight of breath in the air are slowly giving way to a new weather pattern. The landscape, once dusted with frost, is about to experience a significant change as we move further into late autumn and approach the start of winter. Over the coming days, expect a noticeable shift to much milder, wetter, and windier conditions. The chill in the air will be replaced by persistent dampness, and the sound of rain tapping on windows will become a regular feature across much of the country. Gusty winds will sweep through towns and cities, making umbrellas and waterproofs essential for anyone venturing outdoors. The Atlantic Ocean is firmly in control of our weather as November draws to a close and December begins. This means a steady stream of weather systems will move in from the west, bringing with them spells of rain, blustery winds, and occasional brighter intervals between the showers. There will be a brief window of cool, dry weather, offering a short-lived respite from the unsettled conditions. During this time, you might catch a glimpse of blue sky and feel the crispness of winter in the air, a perfect opportunity to enjoy the outdoors before the next change arrives. However, this calm spell won't last long. A rapid transition is expected, with clouds quickly rolling in and bringing another round of mild, unsettled weather. The skies will turn gray, and the air will feel noticeably warmer for the time of year. The first week of December is set to be exceptionally mild, with temperatures climbing well above what we'd typically expect for early winter. Many people will find themselves reaching for lighter jackets instead of heavy coats, and some may even be surprised by how warm it feels compared to previous Decembers. Daytime highs will be several degrees above average, and overnight frosts will be rare. This unusual warmth will be noticeable across much of the UK, making it feel more like late autumn than the start of winter. With temperatures staying so mild, there will be little risk of frost, lawns will remain green, plants will avoid the usual winter bite, and scraping ice from car windows will be a rare chore for most. Instead, frequent rain and strong winds will dominate the forecast. Downpours may be heavy at times, and blustery conditions could cause travel disruptions, especially in exposed areas. The wettest and windiest weather is expected in the west and north, where Atlantic fronts will bring persistent rain and gusty winds to coastal and upland regions. Flooding could become a concern in some areas if the rain continues for several days. This mild wet pattern is likely to persist into the second week of December, keeping the ground saturated and rivers running high. Urban areas may see more puddles and slippery pavements, so take care when out and about. Beyond that, the outlook becomes more uncertain. Weather models suggest a range of possibilities, from continued mild and wet conditions to the potential for a shift towards colder, drier weather as the month progresses. There's a chance that colder air could move in later in December, bringing the return of frosty mornings and perhaps even some wintry showers, especially in the north and east. For now, though, it's best to prepare for a gentle, damp start to winter. Keep your raincoat and waterproof shoes handy and be ready for rapidly changing conditions as the weather remains unsettled. Stay tuned to the latest forecasts and weather updates, as conditions can change quickly at this time of year. Checking your weather app before heading out will help you stay one step ahead of the elements. The UK's weather story this season is one of contrasts: mild, wet, and ever-changing. Whether you're hoping for winter sunshine or bracing for another downpour, one thing's for sure: the coming weeks will keep us all on our toes.